I'm restarting because, as far as I know, Patrick spent like 40 minutes making noises. So,
No, I was
anyways,
talking about stuff.
that's fine. Last time, we talked to Rin and we did nothing, and now we're gonna run, and that was it. So, anyways,
Okay.
my morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while until I remember that I decided to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things haven't been great lately for me. That doesn't mean my existence is so intolerable I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Emmy has apparently been here for some time. Looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway? She doesn't leave. Oh, it's you! That's not a voice. I'm surprised to see you again. Why's that? Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try. She frowns, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought. Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, I was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning. A shrug. It suddenly appears like she's forgotten what she was talking about. The phone disappears entirely and seems to snap back to her previous train of thought. So, come on then. What? You're here to run again, right? Well, yeah. So come on! I found myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work towards things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We're on the track and start a second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient, keeping pace with me, and begins to pull away. Jerk! This is what I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? Nope. Nope.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for
I
it.
let Emmy go with her own pace, and she doesn't show mercy, pulling half a lap ahead of me in an instant. I don't blame her. I mean, it's not as if I'm really putting up any sort of real fight out here, is it? So I'm just running at a steady pace, which is what I should be doing, right? There's no need to go pushing my limits at this stage of the game. God, is this even worth it? As we finish the second lap, I break off again. Emmy keeps going. It almost seems to me that she's disappointed. Well, that's stupid. I don't have anything to prove to her. You can think of it, I've got nothing to prove to myself, either. I'm fine, just the way I am. What I'm not is a runner. This is probably a bad idea. Maybe there's something else I can do instead of this. Getting up this early sucks anyways. There's gotta be some other way to keep healthy. Walking, maybe. Nice afternoon walks. Yeah, that sounds good. Running isn't for me. I wave to Emmy and head back to my room. I'll think of something else later. Back in my room, the first thing I see is the familiar row of medication bottles lined up on the top of my dresser. It makes me depressed. As usual. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I'd made my peace with this thing, gone over it. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before, for months. It seems like it's time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. That's how I'll rationalize it. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head, and then I prepare to head out to class early, as usual. Uh-oh. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner, stealthily making his way over to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me, soundlessly like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. I can tell Patrick is all-tabbed right now.
All right.
Hey. He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh, hey man, I didn't notice you there. I'm really tired. I think it's more like he just didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So then, what's in the bag? I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. I thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. I decide to not point out that he's not wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing open his door, slowly. Releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Oh. I just want to know when the next test day is. I'm still gonna take it, duh. I just need to know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it. And what do you have to do? Wait, why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home? Nah, I don't use a phone. I don't have a phone. Phones. I have no phone. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone? I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them, but I don't know why. It's like some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it. Beaten in the head. Well, where else could I have been beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass. Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now.
God damn it.
God damn it, Sal. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is gonna start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought two because I thought the store started selling individual AA batteries. Thanks, but no thanks. Whatever, man.
God damn it, Kenji.
He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to the class. Hold on, I need to take a sip of my water. My throat hurts after that one.
I wasn't alt-tab, why would you say that?
I don't know, man. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces now, though the names escape me still. Still don't know who that blue person is.
Wait. Just, that doesn't make any sense. You just like see someone coming to class, he's like, that is Guy? That is other... What?
You're telling me you have never once gone into a class and recognized people by face before you recognize them by name?
Yeah, but he doesn't know their names at all.
Yeah? He probably hears them, but it's not a matter if he sees them and immediately connects their face to the name. But he does connect their face to their mere existence. That is my classmate. He might have a personality. Come on. He's been at school for 5 days. You think he's memorized the whole class's name?
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't make sense that like he acknowledged I don't know.
The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overtly attentive. The first days I was pretty high-strung in class. Mewtwo finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds.
Games and fried food.
Everyone bursts out in laughter, as do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I meant more was the remainder of the sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Mewtwo deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Oh, good. He's...
Are you okay?
I just suddenly became weary of all of this business. Hisao! I'm gonna make you a one-time only, super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunchboxes and the privilege of enjoying them in private with 2 bombshell beauties. Oh. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway of a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose as though as an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing her very modest chest. Really? Really?
This is where we're going now?
Really? Really? Really?
Making a V for fucking future.
No, really? Really? Is this what we're gonna do now? Okay.
Aren't you supposed to be the sexual character?
I know, but sometimes you forget because it looks like a 10-year-old.
Oh. And then
making
she
the V for victory sign with her hand, as
V
opposed to her goddamn hair. I don't know.
V for Vendetta or vagina. Probably vagina. It's this game.
You
What?
did it. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited? You stood there looking really sad, lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company. It's probably the most depressing reason imaginable. Stop using that word. Whoever wrote this act, he just really likes that word. So how about
Depressing.
So how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I'm not
Sure,
though.
I'll have your lunch offer. With pleasure. Let's go to the roof. The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. And if I don't get up there, then she'll probably wander off, and I just don't know. You know she'll go hungry because she never packs a lunch for herself. Who will? Come with me. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. Don't imagine anything for a second. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh. Stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock.
Me.
Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs and dying. Oh god, I can't do them both. And then, simultaneously to that... Hello.
Can I say I was imagining Rin just kind of wandering off the roof?
Just falling off.
Literally sounds like
Yeah, she scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? Oh god, I have to do this whole scene alone. Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds till Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Heist out for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for free. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof, while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. Is it normally popular? Like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
A few run-down benches and tables are scattered across the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. Small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards a convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams.
Space Jams?
I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly that I haven't had time to think of how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries a sense of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag. Come on, Hisa, what are you waiting for? She's begging me to join them, making room on the already small bench. Ah! That was terrifying. Of course, I'm guessing you weren't looking.
I was.
Huh. Huh. I see how it is now.
What?
I see myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places the lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another to me. Here you go! Lunch, as promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I make 'em myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself.
Red scrub feeder.
Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a fork full of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it
Yes.
just mean I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You've dishonored my family.
Like, it just dishonored her modest.
Shut up. You can't talk about lines that haven't been said.
What? I'm talking about this line I just said. Of her
You seem pretty
modest
hungry.
chest.
Oh, yeah.
It insulted her modest chest.
It's not modest. I'm modest, and this thing's huge.
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure Rin insults her too. It's pretty
Oh
great.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite, which is great because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly, helping me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch, trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Oh God. I say both of those things at the same time.
Oh.
I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How did you meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we got all our limbs, get it?
Get it.
So, I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I think you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms.
How do
So,
you?
putting on a shirt like one of those things would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now. It'll save me a whole lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps a equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. This again. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Hisao, how'd you like it up here?
I hate it.
It's quite nice. God damn it, Patrick. It's quite nice, actually. I like high places, for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here.
The view of your
And for the
modest
lunch,
chest.
too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know.
God damn it.
Emmy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve. She giggles.
God damn it.
Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch. all alone. I'm
Two
suddenly assaulted by
girls.
the most heartrending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as enemy pouts.
Assaulted.
Kidding! I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay, too.
It's alright, I guess.
It's passable. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The
Seems
lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going.
well, I've already seen many people just phase out of existence.
The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I'd borrowed into the return slot on the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as I hit the trolley next to her. Oh, sorry, Yuko. Didn't mean to startle you. Patrick, you get a turn.
No, it's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you?
It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. You have fun, Patrick?
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry. I suppose I grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wandered down to the fiction section towards the back of my library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. I was wrong. Last time you went through that scene, I said I'm pretty sure it transitions into a scene with her if you're going down a route, but that was a lie. That doesn't happen. It's just a completely pointless scene.
Oh.
After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. I think we should finish this day for this episode. There's only like one scene left, but it's kind of big.
Yeah, it is.
But the last scene was kind of small, so should we?
I don't know.
Let's do it. Let's have a long episode. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here.
Supplies.
Actually, speaking of tiredness, you know what? I think we should just stop.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stop here, and I will like sleep and stuff.
Scrub casual.
It's almost 2 in the morning. We started at 11.
Oh God.
So, I guess we'll just end here.
Okay.
So that was that. Don't mind how many saves I have. That's just a side effect.
Oh God. Do you just always make new saves?
Yeah. Probably shouldn't. So anyways, that was that for today.
Playtime.
5 hours and 47 minutes.
I like how she's named when you leave.
And we will finish with a picture of Kenji.
That's spoiler. Spoiler.
I can't go to the other scenes because our video would get flagged and would get taken down if I try to go to any other page.
What do you mean?
So, next time, we're gonna go to the store, and then it will be Saturday. And at that point, We will have officially done every single choice that would get us down our route, and we'll find out if we successfully got to RIN'S route.
So we have.
We think we have.
We have, because I've gone through this.
So, if you like Star Wars 7, this is the game for you.
If you like modest chests and bubbly things.
If you hate feminists and vegetarians,
It's not a game for you then. This game's all about that.
I think you can tell we're tired. I think I'll wrap this up. So, like, comment, and subscribe to my MySpace page. Like me on
Why?
9gag!